What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to just give it a couple seconds, just a few, couple. Good of you to be here. Super late for all of you, especially me. That's okay, though. I sacrifice because I'd be up anyway, to be honest. So, why not do a live stream, right? Plus, I said I was going to do one, so here we are. We're doing the live stream. We're doing it. We're doing it live. Doing the live stream live. That's what's up. So I watched the stream from last night. Sorry. Man. Tonight will probably be a lot like last night, but I'll try to stay on different points. That'd be better, right? That was cool seeing you guys at Robert Wallace's channel. That was great. Did you guys watch Full Warrior from the Patriots Lounge? Showed up, was in the chat most of the live stream. That was sweet. That was awesome. Great show going on over there between Watch Full Warrior and Amy, the mod. It's great. And no, they're not paying me to plug it to all of you. So... No, it legitimately is entertaining. It was fun. They worked through a few things, and I think it's only going to get bigger and better, and I think it's going to be great, greater than it's been. So what's happened in the last 24 hours? I guess I need to kind of cultivate what's been running through my mind in the last 24 hours. I'll do that in a second. I guess I got to think about it a little bit. It's always fun to catch up and chat. Headless Horseman, I see you. I see you, Headless. I see you. I'm looking at you, bro. I'm looking at you. I see you. All retired. Headless is retired, you guys. That's nuts. That's great. Right on, KK. I agree. Watchville's good people. It's funny, you can not know somebody, but you can watch them a couple times, catch their demeanor, and you kind of get it, You kind of say, yeah, they're right on, or not. And he's definitely very much right on. Good dude. I think he and I will speak one day, maybe. I agree, KK. That was a great show. Thank you, Robert Wallace. That was fun, man. I love the shovel. Robert Wallace and I are going to collaborate one day. He's going to play the shovel and I'm going to play the piano, and we're going to write a #1 hit song. And it's going to be the weirdest thing that ever happened to anybody, especially us. But it's going to happen. And I don't know how it's going to happen. But you know what? I'm in the mood for sharing. I'm going to share just for a second. From the age of maybe 26 or 27, I always believed that I would write, not perform, but I would write a #1 hit song that some up and coming person or somebody would buy. That's my pie in the sky, you guys. I mean, those are things that I think about when I'm playing my music and writing my music. Anyway, that's just a little something about me. I don't know. I want to share that. I always believe that, though. And they say, follow your dreams, right? I haven't done anything about sending anything out. It's not worth it at this point, but it's a good dream. And it's important that we do dream. You guys should have goals. We should all have goals. They might not be attainable, maybe not. But it's good to hold those into your heart, because that's the America that we are being restored to is where you can follow your dreams. Now, maybe it's too late and far gone for some of you, and maybe me, perhaps. But the future of America is so bright. And I hope you hold on to something. I don't care if you knit. I don't care if you knit. I don't care if you're in fantasy football. Whatever you do, maybe it's all truth movement. You know, for me, for a large portion of the last 3 years, it's been really heavily into the truth movement, so much more than it was in my life before. And I was kind of awake before, you know. Trump getting elected, man, whole new level as far as being awake. And then you throw in the whole Q, you throw that into the mix. And this has been a pretty damn good ride. You know, some people say that, like, when you're in heaven, you choose the life that you want to come back to earth and live, and then you're born to your parents. I don't know about all that. But if I chose to be alive right now at this point in time, with this going on, with maybe the greatest transfer of power and wealth in the world that gets returned to the people of the world, because this isn't just an American movement. This is global. This is global, folks. 100% global. It's going on in Australia, in North Korea, believe it or not. Japan is fully on board. It's happening in China. Russia, I believe, is fully on board. And not because they're trying to spread communism, my friends. They're not trying to spread communism. It's funny. I don't agree with communism, but I got to hand it to the Russians. By staying to communism, they managed to take the central bank system of the of the world. My dog's getting in the trash. Daisy, no. Hey. No. Get out of there. Central bank systems. Central banks are everywhere in the world. Russia said, we're not having a central bank in Russia anymore. Not in Russia. Not going to have it in Russia. And they kicked them out. That's the day that Russia got kicked out of the G8 summit. You know it's the G7 summit now because they kicked Russia out a few years ago. It used to be the G8 summit. Russia was involved. And like Trump says, I think it's better that we get along with everybody if we can. I mean, how are you going to not go meet someone? And you remember what they did to Obama? They refused to even shake his hand. That didn't get any airplay on the mainstream television. Do you know why? You already know why. The Russians would not shake his hand or acknowledge him because they've known what we all have just learned in the last 2 years, let's say. I mean, if you're being honest with yourself, if you look at the actions that the world was taking against Obama, like the Russians not shaking his hand. When he went to China, they didn't even bring up the steps so that he could come out of Air Force One. No red carpet. He had to go to the tail of the plane of Air Force One, and then it had built-in steps off the back of the plane that came out. That's how he came into China. So the world superpowers didn't respect him or care a lick about that guy. Nothing. Didn't care about him. Trump comes in, reestablishes it. The connection with China, with Russia. But back to the point of Russia got rid of the central banks. That's what Trump's going to do. He's going to get rid of the central bank. The Federal Reserve is no more federal than Federal Express. And I've repeated that a million times, and I do it so that you'll remember that. They're not a part of any part of our government at all. At all. The people that print your money, the Federal Reserve, are not a part of our government. Our government used to be funded by the U.S. Treasury. That's what Trump's going to bring it back to, is us being funded by the Treasury. And they're going to back it with gold. That's what I believe. And that would explain why China, over the course of the last 2 or 3 years, they have imported and bought as much physical gold as they can in any given month. But that's only recorded when the gold goes through Beijing. The only gold recorded that China buys is when it goes through Beijing. It doesn't count for any of the other ports of entry into China for shipping and all that bring in gold. Russia has been, over the course of the last 2 to 3 years, consuming and buying as much gold as they can possibly buy every month. Look it up without fail. These countries are working with President Trump and the Patriots to flip the scales of justice on the deep state. And it's working. It's been working. We're witnessing it. We're watching it. It's happening right before our eyes, really. At this point, if you are asleep, you are choosing to be asleep. There's so much information that's available. There's so many things that correlate into your truth venture. There's so many things. It's exhausting, actually, at this point to try to say that I want to wake you up. My God, why do I have to wake you up? What in the hell is the matter with you that I have to go wake you up? It's messed up. Shouldn't be that way. But then we realized that the part of the plan to take over the world was about dumbing down everybody in the world, including America, by a lot, and stripping the wealth out of America by the bucket loads of companies that shut down. Bucket loads. Hundreds of companies. All as a result of bad policy, bad legislation, just bad, poor, bad for America. Trump killed all that. Put the candle out on that. It was done. All of what you hear right now about the stock market, all of this, it's all part of the plan. Trump is building it up. He's building the economy. And yes, the jobs are coming back. He's building all of this up, knowing that probably shortly after the 2020 election, he's going to fire the Federal Reserve. He might do it sooner than that, but probably not going into the election year. There's still lots of things that are playing out that are really coming to a head, if you're being honest, and you look at what's happening right now. A lot of this is coming to a head. And it's your choice to be awake or asleep, but the information is all there. It's all right there in front of you. All of it. All of it. That's why you shouldn't get in like discussions with people that just simply aren't awake at this point. It's like, man, it doesn't matter. It's the truth has balled itself into a humongous avalanche of information, and this bitch is 3/4 of the way down the mountain, and it's snatching up every piece of information. And this thing's about to come down and smash the Snow Lodge. It's about to be crushed by this giant snowball. It's man, it's here. It's here. We're in the last quarter or so of 2019, going into an election year. We might get another pick on the Supreme Court if Ruth Bader Ginsburg bows out or retires, which is highly probable. He's going to put another person in there. They're going to come up with voter ID, voter identification, because they already know that they got voter fraud on a monumental level going. That's why Q always said that the midterms were safe. What they did is Q team protected the Senate vote and didn't allow any manipulation. However, they allowed the manipulation to happen and tracked it for the House of Representatives. Congress. They allowed it to go to the Democrats. They allowed it to go there. Why? Because that was part of the plan, was to have the Democrats run the House so that they could make all these waves, so that they could put investigation after investigation in front of the world, so that they could push for impeachment. Now, once Congress, which is favored by the Democrats, pushes for impeachment, it's got to go up before the Senate. Well, the Republicans run the Senate. They have the majority. It's 53-47. The Republicans under Trump only wanted to gain the Senate. They wanted to let the House of Congress go to the Democrats. The main reason was to give them a voice, because they couldn't be exposed for what they are if they didn't have a platform. And part of this whole plan, this movie we're watching, this Great Awakening, the storm, it's being played out in front of us. That's what's up. It's being shown to us. And I watch different channels that are pulling Q drops from late 2017, early 2018, that are falling into line with exactly what we're going through right now watching this. That's why people aren't freaking out. You know, the awake are at an added level of awakeness. They're super awake. The awake are awake. And I know that's just super dumb to say it that way, but they are. I mean, you're not middle temperature when it comes to which way you lean for the path of America. There's not too many people that are sitting there in the middle going, well, I mean, you're kind of awake or you're not awake. And if you're a Democrat, you are 100% not awake at all. At all. But for you sleeping Democrats that may be watching this, or somebody that you know that loves you very much is showing you this video, let me say this to you. Let me extend an olive branch to you. Is that everything that is being done and shown to us is for you to have a better life. And you just have to simply differentiate between the motives of one party and the motives of the other party. And you just look at what's going on with Trump and Q, and you look at the direction. I mean, it's super obvious. We're in a waiting game, you guys. We're in a waiting game. We're waiting for people to wake up. That's what's going on right now. It's being drawn out like a blade. We're waiting for people to wake up. And they are. They are. But for sure, something's going to happen in the near future, because I think this thing needs to explode before we get into whittling down to the final 3 Democrats that are going to battle it out to run against Trump. Who do you think it'll be? Probably, well, I've heard Biden's going to step down. So let's say Bernie, Kamala, and Buttigieg, maybe. I don't know. I don't care. There's nothing any one of those can say that will do anything to get a vote out of me. They're all ridiculous. All right. I've spewed long enough. I went on my tirade, my rant. That's it. I'm going to call it a night. I might come on tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. All right. You guys be cool. I'll see you soon. Don't forget to pray.